I want to show you a tool that I use, and I've actually used this for a long time for remote work call booking, for sales calls, client calls, that sort of stuff. And I share this. I've been a freelance copywriter working with clients really since 2006, 2007. I've done it full time since 2010, and so remote work is nothing for me. Somebody actually shared a meme on Facebook earlier that was, coronavirus, the world shuts down. You have to go hide in a room and stay, by yourself and get your work done. And it's a copywriters. We're ready for this. We've been preparing for this. If I tell the joke better, it's probably actually a better joke. But the point is, the types of challenges that people are working with today in terms of remote work, working from home, that sort of thing, is things that I've been managing actually for a long time as a copywriter and consultant working with clients. And I have a very effective system for booking calls. I actually use this to sell my consulting time, which that's a possibility here too. And I use this for client generation. I use this for bringing new clients in through the door. I'm actually teaching a more sophisticated version of this as part of my client getting blueprint. I'll include a link in the description for that. But there are some really simple tools out there that make it really easy if you want to maintain conversations with your clients and maybe you don't have the same resources that you have had in the office. Or if you're just looking to set this up because you already work from home or suddenly you are stuck working from home, or whatever your situation is, if you are looking for a really effective way where you're not doing a bunch of email back and forth to book calls and figure that out, this is really how you do it. So let me share my screen here, and I'm going to show you. I have quite a few pages like this set up, and this one in particular is just created as an example. So this uses a tool called Book Like a Boss. The URLs are at bookme.name. I don't actually love the I don't love the name Book Like a Boss because that's just not language that I use a lot, like the Like a Boss thing. But I do find that it's a very, very effective tool for this purpose. And I'll also make sure to include a link in the description of this video where you can check out Book Like a Boss for yourself. So this page, as you can see, it's got a picture of me. It's got some links. It has a headline that I decide, and I get to decide the links, and I get to decide which of my social links show up, and I get to decide that picture. And actually, I created this banner image. This is some of my proprietary branding for my sites, Breakthrough Marketing Secrets and BTMS Insiders. And then there's an About Me section, which you can customize. There is this, which we'll get into all the details in a minute. There are also testimonials here that you can add and some content at the bottom. So this is the really important thing here. So I actually have this hooked up to my Zoom account, which is the suddenly super popular video conferencing service. And so what this does, it's hooked up to my Zoom account and my Google Calendar. And if somebody lands on this page, they get to see times that are currently available in my Google Calendar. And then they can select the time, and then they enter their name, they enter their email address, they enter what's the main reason for the conversation, the message, and actually these are things that I can add in terms of custom fields. I get to decide what fields are required and not if I add conversations. And so once this is booked, click Book Me, and I actually have it set up in this particular case to go in and to actually book the conversation on my Google Calendar and to automatically set up a Zoom meeting, and the client gets a confirmation email. In addition to the confirmation email that they get, they also get reminder emails, and those are settings that I can actually do. So there's all sorts of different settings that you can do here. You can define profile details, cover media, text colors, fonts, testimonials, FAQ, you define the padding around the calls. You define how often or how many cutoff days before the meeting. So if you don't want calls booked within the next 24 hours, you can dictate that, or 48 hours. You dictate the intervals. There's also all sorts of other interesting things here. Once they book, there's success messages. You can redirect them. There can be auto redirect, or they have to click a button. You can hide the meetings so they don't appear on a public profile page. You can set approval, which means that it looks like they booked the meeting, but it doesn't officially, and it actually holds the time in your calendar, but you can disapprove any particular meeting. Like if you're doing it for lead generation and you're just getting weird requests or things like that, you can easily disapprove it. You can also cancel any meeting afterwards as well. And as you can see here, there's Zoom integration. So create meeting in Zoom when booked. There's lots of different things that you can add to this page. You can have, with the different account levels, you can actually have unlimited appointments. You can have unlimited bookings, so unlimited different types of events, different types of bookings, as well as people can make unlimited bookings. As I mentioned, I have a higher level account where you actually can sell your time. So I have it hooked up to Stripe and I think PayPal, both of them. And I have it so it is set to actually offer time where people can pay for my consulting services and copy review services and so on through there. So there's all sorts of different features built into this, and it's a very it's a platform that's being actively developed and works out to be really effective for this type of work. Now, I can't necessarily go through and go into some big tutorial, but about all the different features for this. And in fact, that's what Book Like a Boss, they have tutorials for that. But what I can tell you is that as far as the process goes, here is the back and forth process that a lot of people will deal with in terms of booking calls, whether it's a sales call, whether it is, a call with a client. You say, oh, well, I'm available at these 3 times. Does that work for you? The person says, no, that doesn't work for me. Do you have other times available here? You say no. And so there's this back and forth around trying to figure out what works on people's calendars. And frankly, that can be a headache. And whether it is you or an assistant doing it, it's still kind of a headache, and it's an inefficient use of time and resources. And it actually eats up a lot of time. Whereas with a service like this, you can see if I sent this link to a client, and I'm actually going to delete this as soon as I'm done recording this video. But if I were to send a current link to a client, and they were to go to this page, they could actually see time that's available, and they can look at their schedule, and they can skip forward in terms of availability, and they can see what is available on my schedule on the different days, and say, oh, okay, well, Roy's available for that time. I'd love to talk to him for that time. And they can book it right there, and it carves out the time on my schedule. It gives them a link that they can click to save the time on their schedule. It's all super straightforward, and it's really focused on moving these conversations forward, whether it's customer service, client relations call, or it is an interview. You can set up podcast interviews, things like that. You can set up any kind of meetings. You can set up prospecting and sales calls here. And it's super straightforward, super easy to use. And I've relied on this. I've leaned on this as a freelancer for years now. I had a different platform before. I like Book Like a Boss better. I like the feature set. I like the mix of features. I like all sorts of capabilities that are available. And the other thing about this is that a lot of these are actually embeddable. And so I can actually embed portions of this page. Really, it's between these two lines, between Book Me, or between the line above Book Me and the line above Testimonials. I can embed whatever I create in there in any kind of web page. And so if I'm creating a funnel that involves some kind of either sales call or a paid booking, all of that is available to me to offer to you to anybody. And so it's an incredibly powerful tool to be able to do this. It works whether you're doing remote working or not. But because there is so much focus these days on remote working due to the unfortunate coronavirus crisis, this is just something where I decided that it's worth sharing and worth kind of explaining the capabilities of the tool, because I know that there are a lot of people right now who would benefit from this, who may have used different systems in the past. And frankly, for me at this point, like, I'm suddenly juggling kids at home and having teaching roles, being the teacher for my 3 kids, in addition to the freelance work that I do, the consulting work that I do, in addition to all the training that I actually build for my clients for my business. And so all of this adds up to really wanting to be effective with my time, and having something like this, having a booking tool available that does so much legwork in terms of offers overlapping times between my calendar and their calendar, lets them choose the best time for them, takes the information that I want to get from them. I actually, on different bookings, I have different questions that I ask them to answer to help me be prepared for the call, and then sets the time available in my calendar, dictates that, creates the Zoom meeting, sends email reminders, email confirmations, gives them a link so they can easily put it in their calendar, offers canceling and rescheduling abilities, offers the ability to actually sell the time versus offering the time for free. There's all sorts of capabilities built into this. And having a tool like this, it's just incredibly valuable. And so, it may seem kind of silly to really focus on a really basic tool, but frankly, tools like this have made my life much easier doing remote work for years. And so I hope this has been valuable. Be sure to check out the links in the description. I'll include a link to Book Like a Boss. If you are actually using this for client generation, I'm doing this big client getting blueprint training, and I'm in the middle of recording it now, but part of that does involve actually an automated booking process where people who are qualified prospects are able to come find you, or you're able to give them a link like this, and it sets up your ability to present your offer to them. And then as you grow and scale, having something like this that also works effectively as an application process becomes even more and more important and more powerful. So if you want to check out the Client Getting Blueprint, I'll include the link in the description as well. This has been a video issue of Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. You can check out Breakthrough Marketing Secrets, which is my daily publication dedicated to marketing, copywriting, business building, entrepreneurship, leadership, self-development, and more. That link is in the description as well. If you like this video, be sure that you click like. You can comment with any experience that you have or any observations or questions. You can share it with other people on your team or in your universe that might find it valuable. And be sure to subscribe. Follow me so that you can get more content like this in the future. As this situation is shifting, I may talk more about remote work. I may talk more about working from home, because those are areas where I have a lot of experience over the last few years. And I will continue to help you build your business. During the boom times, that may feel a lot more aspirational, like, let's build the biggest business in the world. But at this point, it's as much a life rafter, a life preserver as anything. Like, the goal here is to make sure that you continue to have as healthy of a business as possible, even in what looks like it could be some rough economic times. And hey, I'm here for you for that. I'm on a mission to help tens of thousands of value-focused, value-first leadership entrepreneurs develop a better business and live happier, healthier, more prosperous, and impactful lives through their business, through the impacts they're creating in the world. And if you'd like that to be you, I would love to have you join me here. Join me at Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. So with that, I'm Roy Furr. Again, this is a video issue of Breakthrough Marketing Secrets, and I look forward to seeing you again in your next video. Bye.